Hey everyone, in this video, we're going to look at how to take some of this code out and break it into functions. Functions are just reusable pieces of code. And while it may not seem very efficient right now, if you imagine building a really big program or a really big application, you're going to have a lot of blocks of code, a lot of lines of code. So the more you can reuse code, the easier it is to fix things and keep it maintainable. A very, very important concept in programming and coding. So for us to do that, we're going to have to learn about what a function is. So let's go into functions. We're going to make a function, and we're going to call this very simple, turn eyes red. You'll notice that I capitalized the start of every word. That makes it a lot easier to read as a function, especially when you transition to typed or line-by-line coding, not these block codes. We're going to hit OK. And I get this fancy little blue block. You'll notice it has this bump on the top, meaning it's a function. Okay, so that tells us something about the start block, that the start block is also a function. And in this case, it turns our eyes red. So let's go to our start block and we'll grab our set eyes color to red. I'm going to pull out the whole block. I'm going to separate them into their separate pieces. Okay, so we're going to have 4 pieces here. And I'm going to drag the eyes and pause to turn eyes red. Go ahead, pause the video, get caught up, create this function, turn eyes red, and have it set eye color to red and pause for 100 milliseconds. Then go ahead and create 3 more functions for these other blocks and see if you can name them similar to what I'm going to name them in a few minutes. Make sure to test your code. I'll be right back. All right, hopefully you paused the video and you tried that. So now we're going to go functions. We're going to make a new function. This time it's going to be called turn eyes, and we use blue. Okay, so turn eyes blue. We'll drag that over here. We'll drag our blue eyes into it. And then we also need our speaker. So we're going to make another function. And let's just call this play sound. We'll hit OK. We'll drag it over and we'll drag our speaker music in. And now we have 3 functions. And we have this last one that turns a robot off. Maybe what we'll do is create one more function and we'll call it sleep. And this will put the robot to sleep, and we'll put our eye color in there. And just to make our code really robust and catch any errors, let's grab this turn off speaker. We'll duplicate it and put it under the sleep command as well, the sleep function. So you can see I'm sort of dragging and dropping my blocks around, trying to clean up my environment so I know sort of what's happening. And I'll pause the video here. You go ahead and pause it, double check your work. You should have 4 functions, and each function will do something. Okay, so go ahead, pause your work, double check your work. Now, if you've actually paused your work and you tried to run this code, you'll notice that your robot didn't do anything. And that's because we never told the onStart command or the onStart block function to link out or call out to these functions. So this is a fairly simple task. We're going to go into functions, and you'll notice that there's 4 blocks called call function. So let's bring these out. Let's turn our eyes blue, and then maybe let's turn our eyes red, a little bit different from our initial code. Then we'll play our sound. And you'll notice I'm just going into functions and grabbing a new block every time, and then sleeping. So what should happen now when I hit play down here and relink my robot to this project is that the robot should start up, eyes should turn blue, so that calls out to eyes turn blue, so this function over here. And then when this function's done, it returns back and then calls function turn eyes red. Okay, so that's this function over here. So maybe I'll rearrange these so that it's easier to read my code as we're working. Okay, so this is a good concept to sort of get in the habit of, rearranging your code so you can easily follow along. Then I'm going to play my sound, which is this 3rd function. It's going to turn the speaker on, wait, and pause. And then I'm going to sleep. I'm going to turn the robot speaker off and set its eye color to none. So go ahead, try that out. What your robot should do is go through these functions one by one. I should turn blue, then red, then it should make a little beep at you, and then it should go to sleep. If that works, you're ready for the next video, and I'll catch you on that one.